Welcome to the Autauga football review with Coach Bobby Carr. How you doing, Coach?
Good, Coach.
Coach, we played Vernon this past week. Actually, we had an off week last week. We played Vernon 2 weeks ago. Just talk about going out of state and playing a team from just a different state and us having to represent the ISA in Alabama.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's exciting for everybody anytime we get to go out of state. You know, we played 3 schools from the state of Florida this year, which I think it says a lot about our program because the teams that we play down there are very good teams and well known in the Panhandle, and we're having an opportunity every time we go down there to make a name for ourselves. So it's good, and playing good competition like that will only help us down the road come playoff time, the latter part of the season. But it was exciting. I mean, obviously we came up a little short. We've got to learn how to put teams away. That was the thing we talked about after the game. You know, being up 35-12, and then letting them get the momentum, and then we just couldn't get it back. Again, a lot of that goes back to our schedule and some of the games we played here, where our starters only play half the ball game, and we're not used to playing 4 quarters. So playing tough competition like this helps us down the road and will help us prepare to play the entire game. And again, you learn a lot more from a loss than you do a win, and I know we'll bounce back. Our kids had a really, really good week of practice last week.
Going back to the game, Coach, I know we had a lot of penalties, a lot of mental mistakes. Is that something we've worked on in the off week, the next week, just trying to shore up some things and just kind of be more crisp on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we try to instill a lot of discipline and responsibility and so forth in our kids, and it shows up in tight ball games. And obviously, we got to do a better job of that. And that's the thing that we focused on last week, is doing the little things right. And we've always said you do the little things right, big things happen. And but I think all the mistakes that we did make, we could fix. We worked on a lot of mental toughness. There's just a lot of areas that we've got to get better at. But again, we've played against a very, very, very good opponent, and I know it'll help us down the road.
Talk about the opponent. Just one last thing. The running back they had. You know, do you think we're going to face anybody that has a running back like that? I know the Wednesday before we played him, he got offered by LSU and had a couple other big-time offers. But, you know, and our defense had a tough time getting him down. And I know this past week we worked on tackling, big tackling circuits and stuff like that. But do you think just facing somebody like that, of course, it's just got to make us better just down the road going to the goal that we're going to have set?
Yeah. I mean, I hadn't seen one better than him in my 23 years of coaching. He's as good as I've seen. But it wasn't just him. They were good up front. They had some really good skilled guys, good linebackers. So again, anytime, like I said before, anytime you play a good team like that, you can't help but get better from it.
We had a player of the week this week, going off a loss, but it's Teddy Harris, Coach. He was 13 receptions, 195 yards, 3 touchdowns. Just talk about Teddy and just kind of what he brings to the table and what he's done to help this team so far this season.
Teddy's been a big, huge pickup for our offense. This is his first year here. Tremendous kid, number one. Always does things the right way. Works hard every play. Got a lot of talent. Really tough to tackle in space. Obviously, he's a guy that's got enough speed that can blow the top off, which is what he did. You know, he scored the first 2 touchdowns of the game the other night, and just blowing by their secondary. So Teddy's a great talent, but you know, the thing about him is he's not just a good football player. He's a good person. He's a good student. Even had a teacher bragging on him the other day in the classroom of him always being prepared in the classroom, just like he's always prepared here. So the good thing for us is Teddy's just a junior, so we're looking forward to bigger and better things from Teddy.
Good deal. When we come back, we'll be talking with Teddy Harris, the Player of the Week. Welcome to the Autauga Football Review Player of the Week. This is Teddy Harris. How you doing, Teddy?
Yeah.
Teddy, you got selected this week as the Player of the Week. 13 receptions, 195 yards, 3 TDs against Vernon, Florida. We came up a little short, 44-42. Just talk about the offense and just what you thought of the game as a whole.
I feel like the game we did pretty good. We did good early on. We just got to learn how to finish.
Having a big night like you did you think you're going to have a big night after watching film, or did you just kind of let the game come to you and just take what they gave you?
I just took what they gave me. My quarterback set me up, made good passes, and I just caught them.
Speaking of the quarterback, I mean, how you like playing for somebody like Tay in an offense like this that we run here at Autauga? Kind of a, big play, high-flying offense, never know if you're going to get the ball. So how do you just like playing with a quarterback like Tay and the offense like we have here at Autauga?
I love playing for an offense like this. It gives us an opportunity to like showcase our talent. If you're open, then Tay's most likely going to find you open. That's about it.
Raymond Cutler got it last time, and another receiver getting Player of the Week. What is it about this receiving core that's just looks like it's going to be so good?
We just come to work every day trying to get better. This is probably one of the best receiving core I've been with, knowing that all our receivers are accountable and dependable and can catch the ball.
Doesn't seem like you're a selfish group. You know, it seems like you're all just kind of, you pull for each other. You know, it doesn't matter who scores touchdowns. I mean, against Bessemer, it was more Raymond's turn, and now it seems like Vernon, it was kind of your turn. Not knowing if that's just kind of just how the game played, or we call plays toward each individual receiver. But what is it like just knowing that you got 4 guys that are not really selfish and don't really want the spotlight? They're just going to come out and play.
Feels really good knowing that, you know, you have teammates behind you, supporting you and stuff, pushing you forward to strive to do better. So.
Last question, I'll let you go. Can you give us your best impression of Coach Carr?
Best impression? He's standing on the sideline and he'd just be like, throw it now! Like that would take.
Awesome. This is Teddy Harris, Player of the Week. Welcome back. That was Teddy Harris, Player of the Week. Coach, let's go into our first region game. We got Springwood going to Springwood this week. First region game. Just talk about that and just kind of the troubles, or I guess challenges, I should say, that we're going to have going up to Lynette to play Springwood.
Well, we're excited to be back playing again. You know, it's kind of been tough on us this year, losing a couple home games, only having 9 games on the schedule. It's hard to get teams in our league to play us. So that's why we're having to travel out of state and play. So again, we're excited about playing. And again, the focus has been working on our team, and it's really not about who we're playing. And you know, we know what they're doing. I'm very familiar with their head coach, John Gartman. He's very familiar with us and things we've done over the years. You know, and 2016 and 17, he was a defense coordinator at Scambia, and we played them a state championship game. And obviously, was the head coach of Springwood last year. So I think, you know, like I said, they're familiar with us. We're familiar with them. We just got to go out and execute. And, I feel like we'll bounce back and have a good night.
Sounds good. Just a little bit of a note of the game. Friday will be 7 Central, 8 Eastern. They are on Eastern time, but we are playing 7 Central. Just a reminder about that. Also, we have a quarterback club meeting coming up on Monday, which will be next Monday at 6 o'clock here in the field house. All dads are welcome. We'd love to see have a good turnout with that, to just learn about our program and just to help build the program in the quarterback club. Coach, let's go get that win, first region win.
Sounds good.
Go Generals.